How much should you spend on a Christmas party?
There is no magic number.
50,000?
No, lower. Definitely lower.
Okay.
How many people are turning up?
12.
12?
Yeah.
That cost per head is insane. Why don't we spend some of that 50 Gs throughout the rest of the year to keep people like happy and engaged as well, and not just on the one day, because like there's other 364 days that, you know, they matter to those people as well.
Hi, Michael.
Hey, Marcus.
Great to see you. You're our trusty CFO here at Kill Boring Dead. So I just want to start off by saying thank you for all of your hard work, spreadsheets, forecasts, and, you know, like an onslaught of Google Sheets and docs and everything. It's a work of art. But also I want to thank you for just being the scapegoat of the kind of CFO that I blame everything for, and, you know, kind of saying no to clients. So I'm like, I push you under the bus quite a lot that you're not aware of. So I just wanted to officially say thank you so much.
Hey, look, that's my role. As we said earlier, I'm the adult in the room, and feel free to blame me, because you know, I probably would say that. Whatever you think in your head, I probably would say it.
And think, what would Michael say? And then I kind of like, you know, push back on clients with that.
That's fantastic. Happy to do it.
So thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you.
So I guess firstly we should talk about the elephant in the car park. So I did ask you about, you know, buying a convertible as a marketing campaign. And to quote you, you said, obviously not, that's a terrible idea. But now that I've picked you up in the airport and you've been in it, did you want to like change your mind at all?
You said that once, and then I never heard about it again.
Yes.
And I honestly thought it was just a joke in the moment until you picked me up at the airport.
I don't joke about soft tops, Michael.
Look, it is a beautiful convertible car.
Great.
And I enjoyed our ride from the airport. So it was probably the most stylish airport pickup I've ever had. But
you totally endorsed the purchase. Thank you.
Does it make sense from a numbers perspective? It's like, how much are you going to lean on it in the marketing? You know?
Who knows? One thing I thought I might do just to keep you happy is put on our website, how did you hear about us? And I might just have a little convertible drop-down tick box so that we can figure out the ROI from a 1998 Mercedes-Benz SL convertible.
I think
knows?
There could be some ROI, hopefully, on this investment.
It could be better than Google Ads. We're not sure yet. But your hair's looking nice and windswept, and, you know.
Yeah, I can't wait to see that GoPro footage. I'm going to look like a crazy scientist the whole time.
Well, yeah, I guess it's fun to think about things that are impossible to track or things that haven't been done, like buying a convertible as a marketing video, which of course could be the greatest investment we've ever made, fingers crossed. Or as you pointed out, you know, it could be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk to you about that balance of doing creative things that could have a great ROI, but also doing more safe things that are predictable, like Google Ads, which we know we make 5 times more than we spend on it, which from your perspective makes perfect sense. So what is that tension? What are we supposed to be doing? Are we supposed to just be doing safe things all the time? And what is like a good balance of creativity or experimentation?
You can be creative without having a massive budget though. So like those experiments don't have to be a convertible every time. You know what I mean?
So many rules with you.
But obviously as like CFO, we love numbers and we love forecasting numbers and having paid ads where you can spend this and spend X, get Y. That is like so much more anxiety reducing when you think about the future. But obviously companies aren't going to grow if they don't take risks and actually spend money on big, scary ideas. There's no magic percentage for like what you should be spending on that. But you know, the companies that grow quickly are the ones taking more risks. So I don't know. I couldn't give you, do you want a dollar figure? I don't even have one for you.
Yeah.
It's like, it depends on how big the bet is.
Well, I guess it depends on the financial health of the company and what other risks you have and your runway and how many green boxes we have on the spreadsheet.
Exactly. Yeah. How much cash do we have to play with this versus keeping the lights on and running a normal business for sure. Yeah.
Well, there's an interesting balance, especially as we've become Kill Boring Dead and the energy has changed and the posture of me as a leader has changed as well. And you know what? Being in business 10 years For some reason, as soon as I saw this convertible, I just thought this is the greatest investment I could ever make.
Yeah, I mean, it's look, it's got style.
Thank you.
It's memorable.
I
So-
haven't even shown you the 12 CD stacker in the boot yet.
What?
Yeah, I know.
No.
See, I should have given you more information on our call.
That's wild. I can't. I've thrown out all my CDs though. That's what a crying
I
shame.
know. We'll get some more. So yeah, I guess that's a question that I have for myself, but also for other business leaders as well. How do you seize opportunities while managing risk? Especially if something new happens, new technologies, new awesome people that we could hire, and you just have that feeling or you have an intuition about making a business move.
Yeah.
What's the balance there with risk and opportunity?
You already kind of said the answer earlier, which is having capital reserves to take that bet and to jump on the opportunity. If you don't have cash, you don't have the ability to seize on those. So having like a war chest or a cash reserve where it's rainy day fund, but it's also like break glass, I've had a crazy idea and you think it's worth taking a punt on, then that's really where the companies that succeed do it. You know, you sit on cash until you really have that idea and then you do it. But like most founders don't have the discipline to sit on enough working capital till that moment. They just whittle it away with bad spending decisions over a longer period of time and not have that cash when it's like that moment where you're like, we need to take a big bet. So having the discipline to know you've got to have 2 to 3 months of cash on hand and then having a war chest for that moment, I would say is what a smart company would do.
Why do most founders not have that discipline?
Because shiny object syndrome is such a powerful, powerful thing that we all suffer from, especially entrepreneurs. And that we end up chasing the shiny new object and something else takes our attention and that's where it goes.
And what does that mean in business? Is that a new employee, a new product line, something else to distract ourselves?
Yeah, it could be like all of the above. New website, new team, new product line. Like R&D is maybe what you're talking about, like from the CFO hat, is research and development, right? Like how much are you putting at things that may not pay off, but they may actually have a huge payoff. And that's probably like it's marketing fun, but it's also research and development. Yeah, how much do you put towards that versus the sure bet? There's no magic percentage there, but obviously you want most of it in the non-risky basket, I would say.
Yeah, you would. Well, I am excited to talk to you about that because you're not the only CFO that I deal with. Obviously, you're our CFO, but I do speak to a lot of other finance people inside businesses for our clients.
Yeah.
And it's a very different conversation where they're very, and rightly so, focused on what the projection is, what's been done before, and how we can prove an ROI from this, so they should be, of course.
Yeah.
However, there's this tension where the best ideas in marketing haven't been done before, and there's not a case study on it, and there's not, proof that this is going to work.
Yeah.
So how do you kind of navigate that? And if I was talking to a CFO around an idea that's never been done before, how would you advise me to approach that conversation?
I think you'd have to tell them to put away the spreadsheet and just to like play to their emotional of like the possibility of what could
Do
be.
CFOs have emotions though?
I think some would. Yeah,
okay.
definitely. You
Good.
could find it. You just got to find a way in past that armor of spreadsheets that they put up. Yeah, I think you got to appeal to the possibilities and you got to pitch them like you just got to pitch the head of marketing in that team too.
Exactly. And we love spreadsheets, especially when the forecast is looking good. But there's an interesting part about marketing, especially with brand or culture, that can't be tracked. There's no, vibe section on the Kill Boring Dead P&L.
Yep.
So the parts that can't be tracked and don't make numbers go up on a spreadsheet, how do you navigate those? And what is the value of those?
I mean, those are the things that set people apart. And like those are the overall the critical things that will define if the business is successful. And when you sell a business, there's goodwill in the purchase. So you do realize that value eventually.
Okay.
And I've had a previous client who was bought out. They were purchased by a big player, but they were bought primarily for the team and the culture. That was a huge part of the purchasing decision. So like although on our weekly or monthly dashboard, it's near on impossible to have like a vibe check, maybe like a net promoter score for the team or whatever. But
Interesting.
But actually, those are some of the most valuable things. But very, as you said, very hard to track. Yeah, it comes down to gut instinct, I feel like, from the founder.
And when you're focused on data and numbers, which we are in finance, we are in marketing,
Yeah.
those intangible pieces can get lost. And that's where the magic happens. So there's really interesting conversations to be had around just because we can't track it doesn't mean it's not creative, doesn't mean it's not valuable, and it doesn't mean it's not effective.
Yeah, I agree for sure. But how you tell that story is whether you'll get it through or not.
Exactly. Sometimes you just need to pick someone up from the airport in a convertible and they get it.
They need to feel the wind in their hair and then they understand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree. I'm converted.
Yes, good. So speaking of team and culture and vibe, how much should you spend on a Christmas party?
Is this last year's or next year's?
Well,
Just-
yeah.
So this is a piece of string question, obviously. There is no magic number.
50,000?
No, lower. Definitely lower. How many people are turning up?
12.
12?
It's, yeah.
That cost per head is insane.
Yeah, it is.
Is the Christmas party going to serve any other function besides? Like,
No.
Isn't it? You're not going to record it and it'll be content as well?
Yeah, no, that is exactly what we do. And that's kind of how I justify spending
Yeah.
on a Christmas party.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, the number could be whatever, but
Yeah.
culture, vibe, recruitment, and
Yeah.
if you build your brand through events and a really cool Christmas party that people have to sign an NDA for
Yeah.
and helps you with future recruitment.
Wait, NDA? They've got to like,
Yeah,
so what
all my
happens
team
on the
had
party
to sign
stays
an
on the
NDA.
party?
Yeah, it's completely confidential. And also you
Wow.
get stickers on your phone. What happens
Holy-
after a certain time, it's just kind
Holy
of locked
moly.
down. Yeah.
Good old fashioned lock in.
Yeah. So after a certain point of our Christmas party, there's no content. It's just kind of word of mouth after that.
Yeah, gotcha.
If they breach their NDA.
Yeah, which that's a big deal if they do that.
So again, that can't really be tracked and there's no magic number as you mentioned.
Yeah.
But of course, spending $40 on the Christmas party is also a bit of a kick in the guts for your team that's worked so hard throughout the whole year.
Whole year. Yeah, absolutely. It gives them something fun to look forward to. Hey, look, there is a metric for that actually.
Oh, okay, cool. What is it?
Staff retention,
Love it.
staff churn, and how long are people sticking around? And I feel like a lot of like the big successful brands, companies, like Patagonia, for an example, they have super low staff turnover because people love working there and that's
Right.
shown that not many people exit. So I feel like that could play into maybe that one metric.
Maybe you can track everything. You
Yeah.
just need to create a bigger, better dashboard.
Yeah, I don't know. But then doesn't matter like how much energy we're going to put into it.
Exactly.
My point would be, why don't we spend some of that 50 Gs throughout the rest of the year to keep people like happy and engaged as well, and not just on the one day, because like there's other 364 days that, you know, they matter to those people as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like having a ping pong table and a terrible work culture.
I'm glad that idea died by the wayside.
Yeah, I think those job ads that have like ping pong table mentioned
Yeah.
are now kind of
Everyone knows it's a trap.
exactly. Yeah, it's
Definitely.
a Trojan horse. So it's a symbol for something else. That's going wrong.
Don't get suckered in.
Okay, so your advice is don't be a terrible workplace. Don't just have one fun day of Christmas
Yes.
party a year, but actually
Yes.
spread it out over the year
Yeah.
and don't have it.
I reckon it'd be more fun having a Christmas party every month, but the budget is divided by 12. And like, you know,
Interesting.
it's like there's more short-term fun things to do because like it's a long year. But your party last year did look amazing. And I'm devo that I didn't get an invite actually.
Well, you know, who knows? This year's a different year, Michael. So
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see if I've got budget for you to come.
We'll see.
So you're one of the only people in the world that knows 90% of my finances. Obviously, I do have a few bank accounts here and there that you don't have access to just for, you know, privacy reasons.
Of course.
But that's a really interesting relationship between you and I because no one else, including my fiance, wants to look at these dashboards or know anything about finance.
Yeah.
So the relationship that we have is based on a little bit of psychology of vulnerability as well
Yeah.
from my end. I don't know your finances.
Yeah, true.
But why is that a vulnerability in the first place? And why is there so much emotion and psychology wrapped up in just numbers and money?
Yeah, it's a really complex topic. And I find it hard when I'm selling my services because I need to build trust really quickly because people need to trust me with that. I think it comes down to like our survival. We need money to live in this capitalist world. So like if you have $0, you don't have many options in life. So it's like like security, like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Money buys you like probably the bottom 3 of those. And that is really powerful. So I think that's a lot of it. But also like we compare ourselves to others. We're quite tribal creatures. So you know, if that person has more than me, you start to play the comparison game. So I feel like there's also an emotional aspect in that regard as well of like, how do I compare to you? Where do we all fit in the tribe? And there's that kind of weird Neanderthal element a little bit.
And as a business owner as well, your self-worth is so correlated to your financial performance.
Yeah, I hate that about entrepreneurial circles.
Yeah.
I think we're optimizing for the wrong thing.
What do you mean by that?
People with the biggest businesses, sometimes they're the most stressed or they're the least profitable or they've got a big head count, but like they're unprofitable and the team is constantly churning and it's like, it's all a mirage. So they can say that they're successful by one definition when they're rubbing up in networking things, but really their life is in imbalance and they don't have their ducks in a row. It just like looks good on a dashboard.
Yeah. Or maybe on Instagram as well.
Yeah, but you get suckered into that growth trap, I reckon, a little bit. Like you want to grow because then you want to feel like you're a big dog.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, yeah, there's definitely a certain threshold of when the business is performing the way that I want, I have a little bit more creativity and mental capacity to think bigger picture, to think long term, to plan and to do, you know, silly launch videos or whatever it is. But when the business is not performing and it feels like an emergency, it's unbelievable from a mental health level of how your brain wakes you up at 3 a.m. being like, we've got to fix this right now. And you don't get to think long term. It comes from a place of scarcity. It comes from a place of fear, which is a terrible place to lead from.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. But I guess it comes down to what's driving you for the business and like what's defining you. Like, what do you want out of the business? Is it just the money or are you trying to find something else and finding those motivators that aren't just survival and like, how is it helping your wider life?
Have you found any patterns with the most successful entrepreneurs that you work with of why they're driving their businesses forward?
They've all got a bigger picture North Star, I feel like, that aligns their decision-making. So like their decision-making is quicker because they know where they're going. So there's not a lot of indecision and they don't take a lot of like dead-end roads. They know what they're building towards. So all of the roads lead to that. And so they can kind of say no to the right things and yes to the right things because they're like, no, that's a waste. They spot the shiny objects and they know which ones just to leave by the wayside.
Right.
And they don't waste money and time on those things and they can execute on their vision, but have the discipline to execute on it. Like, because the longer you're around in business, it's actually all about execution. The idea is you know, the starting point, but it's like, can you deliver it? Can you deliver it consistently? Can we hit profitability regularly every month like clockwork? And that's actually the harder bit.
Yeah, the ideas are free and fun and easy, but then you've got to do it. You mentioned saying yes and no. Is that another pattern you see of the ability for people to be like, not this one?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Of reducing distractions and...
Yeah, just having like clarity of, and sometimes that only comes with experience, but like the best entrepreneurs that I work with, they're pretty clear and they've got good business minds around like what will actually work with their own team. Like they know what their team can deliver, so they kind of know the balance of the opportunity versus reality, and not kind of have that mismatch too much.
You also mentioned making decisions quickly. How important is that? And is there a balance or amount of time you should ruminate on something, or should you just be like, bang, 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 I know exactly what I'm doing?
No, you need to sleep on it, right? Or a couple nights for a big decision at least. But often I think, especially with big decisions that I've helped founders work through, like we'll forecast it out. the direction will be obvious, but it still takes them a little while to get there emotionally. And I feel like the founder always knew it in their heart of hearts or in their gut that probably that's what had to happen. But actually getting to the point of having the fortitude to actually, for example, like a negative thing, reduce the team. That's a hard one that a lot of founders delay on for a long period of time because it is emotionally distressing for everyone. And so that's one that there's too much of a delay, whereas it should just happen straight away. But I think the more experienced players then know we just got to keep moving.
Do we move faster in like positivity and fun things than?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely right. Definitely.
It's like, great, let's start a webinar. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Let's get a new website.
And then we put our head in the sand for all the negative things.
Yeah.
I think that's our natural tendency.
Yeah. I'm definitely resonating with that.
It's human nature, I reckon.
And money is wrapped up so much in emotions and human nature. Would it be easier if you could have a kind of AI agent to be able to make these decisions or have some automation around this instead of having to deal with all these like silly human emotions?
Yeah, I reckon it could, but then like also you got to leave some room for joy of like what you actually brings you joy in life. You know what I mean? So you automate it to the robots to a certain point, but I feel like you still need to have a little bit of direction over like where you want. But I personally use barefoot investor buckets in my personal life.
Yeah.
Then I use profit first in my business. So I have like a hell of a lot of structure with different bank accounts for different purposes, but I actually find freedom in that because I'm kind of robotic, right? But also I know that bucket is for the fun bit, so I can enjoy that money guilt-free.
I love it. You're really living by example here. That's good.
Thank you.
Any other advice you wanted to give to anyone who's considering using a CFO or having any hesitations around financial planning?
I think speaking to someone is super powerful. Getting it out in the open, it's like a lot of what I do is therapy with spreadsheets.
Yes.
because it's an emotional topic. But having someone else to talk to about it, I think is it's a relief for a lot of people once they find the right person. Obviously, you don't want to do it with someone you don't feel comfortable. You need to trust. There needs to be a baseline level of like human to human trust. But I think it's super powerful to do. And at least try it. And if you don't like it, no harm, no foul. If you feel like you've got it all squared away, then go for it.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that with working with you, of being able to just talk about it and work on different scenarios. As soon as you say it out loud, it's not really as scary or as the emotions kind of dissipate a little bit. Saying things out loud to another person and bouncing ideas off turns away the friction a little bit.
Definitely. It makes it a little bit less scary, whatever the idea is, to workshop it. Definitely.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
So a lot of the work that we do is talking to challenger brands, and inside those organizations, there's a lot of appetite for risk. They have more to prove. They have less money. They need to do something so outlandish and creative and bigger and better and bolder to win market share from their nicer and richer competitor.
Yeah.
So when it comes to us working with them, there's a huge appetite for creativity and way less interest in Google Ads. Do you see any similar patterns with more established brands or challenger brands when it comes to financial maturity?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Once you've got a cash cow, you want to protect the cash cow. And it's easy to take bigger risks when there's less zeros in your bank account, and the risk and reward, there's much more upside than there is downside. But once the decimal place gets shifted across and there's more zeros to every decision, I think people naturally like second guess things. And that's why the bigger you get, probably the less risky you are, because the downside means a lot of losses. So it's naturally easier for the challengers to take a risk because they're dealing with less downside. There's more upside for them. But I guess the further up the totem pole you go, the slipperier it is to unwind all that hard work you've done.
Exactly right. And I'm interested to go through this process as well. As a challenger brand ourselves, winning market share from larger agencies with 10,000 more people than us.
Yeah.
Interesting to see what our conversations will look like in 5 years, where it might be a little bit more on the, maybe boring content's not as bad. Hopefully not, but interesting to see how much we can hang on to our company culture, because the work that we do is so intrinsically linked to being a challenger ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. it would be interesting to see. I'm sure you can. If you're leading from the front, there's no way it'll fizzle out, right?
Okay.
It's just on you though. That's probably the only problem.
Yeah, I know. I have full confidence in that then. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Marcus. It's been great having me.
And don't worry, I'll be running any other purchases by you, but they won't be, any more convertibles or anything like that.
Thank goodness. Please not this year at least.
Exactly, yeah. We'll just get through this year. We'll wait until the Christmas party and then, I'll use one of my secret bank accounts for that.
That would be much preferred. Thank you.